What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're checking out XLM on the daily. So if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate that. So we got XLM here on the daily. We didn't close below that 382, that 3987 mark. We got up, we wicked above it on the 4 hour. We had some candles close above it, but nothing major. And so what we got on the 4 hour, I drew a little pattern on the 4 hour to see, just a tracker of movement. It is the weekend. Your volume you pretty much have no volume, like, relative to other moves, right? I mean, you didn't really have any volume on Friday, nothing really today. So not expecting too much. We have been expecting a three-wave move. We've been expecting some kind of corrective move, right, to finish off our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now we need a 1, 2. So our 1, 2 needs to be a 1, 2, something like that, right? As long as we're not coming down overall, we're not taking out our low, right? We're not taking out our low, which would be ideal, right? We want a 1, 2 setup so we can get a 3. That's how it works. You need a 1, 2 for a 3. We are below our 618 of this A wave, right? We're below. Pardon me, I need this. We're below the 618 of this A wave, right? So your C wave is relative to your A wave. And so our A wave, right, came down to this, 37.4 mark, just above the daily 786. Do I think it's a coincidence? I think not. We are in a game, ladies and gentlemen. If you've seen the Saw movies, it's like, do you want to play a game? The market makers keep, asking us, and then we wake up in entrapments that, have us fighting for our lives. And so, metaphorically speaking, of course. And so, right, this band of liquidity, there's probably a lot of liquidity resting right here, but I'm assuming there's a lot of liquidity resting right below here, right around this 36.5, 36 cent level, right, somewhere in here, because, right, not only did you get a bounce from right here, you got a bounce from right here, right? So market makers are farming liquidity. Okay, so first, first or second place is first loser. Okay, so if market makers enter down here, right? If market makers enter down there, they don't care if this gets liquidated because they'll just buy, right? So we could have something where we kind of come up and then flash crash down and then go, something like that. Honestly, that's kind of right now. That's what it looks like. But I mean, this overall correction is good because it's leading us to a third wave. We need a 1, 2. We need a 1, 2 for a third wave, and that third wave, right, is taking us to what I think is going to be on the I think it's on the weekly or the monthly. I think it's on the monthly, yeah. On the monthly, right, it's the further we go sideways, the higher price targets that we have. So right now, the price target for October would be, 95 cents. If it doesn't take off till November, right, then it goes up to 97 cents. You see what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. Just the minimum, what I think we're going to go to, right, depending on how we interact with that. And so I think we're getting ready for a, 88 to 90 cent XLM here fairly soon. Depending on the hype. I mean, there is some good news if you've heard about, adoption from certain companies, I believe over in Southeast Asia, Central America. I'm not too big on the fundamental news thing, just because it's so wild, it's so random, right? You get so much bearish news at the bottom, bullish news at the top. It's kind of hard to dictate what's actually valuable. And so I do pay attention to deals, and I do know there's a deal made. I just can't off of my mind, I can't remember. But I do know there's a deal. I know XLM is partnering with a lot of people right now, with a lot of businesses and companies. So it's gaining notoriety, it's gaining publicity, which is good. We are sitting right above the 20. The 20 is at 38.6. We're at 38.6. So we're at a solid spot for a Saturday. We're looking to, stay above this 37 cent mark. I do think the low is in. I don't think we're coming back down here. But, through here, I think you're in danger if you've longed and, you're leverage trader in this. But, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. So, right, make sure you do your own research and have a plan. We have crossed down below the RSI. Nothing. It's not catching anyone off guard. We made a lower high. Are we making a lower low? more than likely, right? You got a red dot on the Fu Manchu. Not as a big deal as most people think. You know, the weekly red dots, 2-week red dots, those are like, okay. You know, 3-day red dots are like, okay, there's something going on here. But daily, I mean, you're kind of, right, you had a red dot here after you dropped down. You had a green dot here after you went up, right? It's kind of, it's the daily's a little bit delayed. No pun intended. We do have this, the stochastic looks like it kind of wants to cross down. I do want to keep momentum, so let's keep an eye on this momentum. I would like something like that, right? Don't get down below here, right? Got to stay above this. Okay, I know my lines are terrible, but you know the idea. Let's go into the 4-hour and then the 2-hour. So since we're down here, Fu Manchu, right? I mean we've rejected. We have a lower high. We've rejected off the moving average. Let's see how we interact with the 4260. That would give us a lower low, right? Would give us a lower low on RSI as we have lower highs. And let's look at this, right? So I have this, you know, a pattern within a pattern kind of concept, right? We have on the 2-hour, you're going to see it more. It's going to be more prevalent, the areas of interest that I have marked. But you have, you kind of broke out here, rejected, came back down, tried to find some support, found support, rejected, harsh, kind of a harsh rejection if I'm being honest. Reached for it a couple times, right? Got down below. Once you got up, you bounced off, rejected, have come back down, have found support, and now what are we doing? Are we doing this? Which would be fine, right? You're just oscillating down. So see on the 2-hour, you're going to see the 2-hour. No. On the 2-hour, it looks good. 2-hour looks really good, actually, in terms of this chart, in terms of this pattern. You can actually see, right? You actually have like a bounce, multiple bounces, clean rejection, reaching, all these just pretty much reaching for that area, bounce, right? Bounce, right? Rejection, right? So I do like this pattern, at least for the 2-hour. For over the weekend and Monday, I'll reassess, right? We don't make videos on this channel on Sunday. It's the one day I don't work, and it's just kind of need to take a break, right? So we are losing momentum on the 2-hour. The stochastic does look like it wants to cross down the blue line over this purple, kind of bearish, excuse me. Last time we did that, we did have a, let's see, we had a 4% drop from this current price. 4%. That's right there. I mean, that's right there. And we were talking about maybe that 36 cent. It's about 6% drop. It's kind of a steep drop, but that would take out a lot of liquidity. Right? That would take out all of this resting liquidity right here. So I'm going to take out all this too. So just be prepared for that, right? But this 1-2 setup is getting nice, right? It looks like, right? This does look like a inverted head and shoulder. So you got shoulder, head, shoulder, and you had a breakout. And so now it's looking rounded, right? You like this look, kind of like an angled cup and handle, right? That's honestly what it looks like. Kind of looks like an angled cup and handled. So what you want now is you want to keep cupping into. You want to cup into this. You want to keep breaking this. So you want to cup, come down a little bit, cup, and then go. Right? Because this will keep getting weaker. Sell side will keep getting weaker the more and more you hit it. Right? We're not really bouncing off of it too bad right now. At least on this trend line. Right? We've kind of wicked down a couple times, but we're not like heavy bouncing. That's a heavy bounce. These are heavy bounces. That's a heavy bounce, right? So typically like third time's a charm, fourth time's a, guarantee, not a guarantee, but high probability. So we've got 1, we've got 2. Let's get 1 more. All right, let's get up 1 more time. Maybe break out, that'd be really nice, but I think 1 more time, then drizzle, then go. Right, catch everyone off guard, right? Kind of be boring for a little bit. So right, we need to pay the most attention when price action is boring. So that's what I got for XLM for now. Let's go check out some stablecoin dominance real quick. So if you're new to the channel, stablecoin dominance is a key part of the way I think markets are going to move, especially crypto, right? So this is inversely related. As stablecoin dominance dropped, crypto goes up. As dominance goes up, crypto goes down. We have been fighting this area for, I mean, where are we? We're right here. We've been fighting 617. We're at 617 for 70 days. 70 days, ladies and gentlemen. Over 2 months, right? Over 2 months. So when people say that, the cycle is the same, or, we're doing the same thing as last cycle, this cycle is easier than last cycle. Sure, the drops are a lot less prevalent. They're a lot less severe. But the consolidation periods, the amount of down and sideways, is this just by comparison, this is way more difficult. There's way more chop. There's way more sideways. There's way more down. Quite frankly, there's just it's way more bearish sentiment throughout the entire cycle than what I've seen. And so this, I mean, we're sitting right at the 617. You can't make this up. Right, we need to close below 617. It's a huge area of support. It's a huge area of support. This 617, 637. I mean, we did close below this 382 at 619. We kind of tried to get above it, closed below. But now again, right? Every time we do this, we keep doing this. We keep, it keeps moving up, and then comes down, and then shoots up in one candle. So then it gives the illusion of a bull flag. I mean, it's rinse and repeat over and over and over again, right? You did something like this, and you shot up with one huge candle, and like you flagged out. Shot up, and it looks like you're flagging out, right? You shot up, looks like you're flagging out. It's just the market makers, they're doing this on purpose. It's not a coincidence, right? We're in a game. Understand that we're in a game, and we're just pawns to them. They don't care. They're ghouls. They have no souls. Maybe they're all gingers. I'm just kidding. I don't know that, but who knows? Maybe not. But we are right below the 20-day EMA. It's at 618. We're at 617. Right? Let's kind of go sideways and do nothing. Right? These green dots and red dots. Right? Green dot, red dot, green dot. Very indecisive. We do look like we're losing some kind of steam, but it's the weekend. It doesn't really matter. Right? We've broken out above the moving average on the 12-hour. Definitely on the 4-hour. The 4-hour kind of went crazy. 4-hour went crazy. These are some of the levels that we have. We came down to the 604 and 608 level. I mean, you came down like right to the 608, right to the 608, to the 608. So that's a big area to get down below and stay below, stay down below. If I'm being honest, this kind of looks kind of like a little, I mean, if there's things of this chart that look bullish, and then there's things of this chart that look bearish, right? This definitely looks bearish, right? That looks bearish. So this looks like an ascending wedge. You're kind of just slowly moving up, waiting to get rejected, and you did. But now this, when you have an explosive move and then you're flagging out, that's bullish. I mean, I gotta call it as I see it. That it looks like this asset wants to move up, right? You got the 20 right below. You had a move from the 1 below the 2, and you really didn't do anything. You didn't really do anything. And so to me, it doesn't look like it wants to go down. It really doesn't. It looks like it looks like this 20 EMA on the 4-hour wants to cross above all these. Right? And then we have like a flash crash or something. That's what it looks like. Right? Go up to this 637 and then reject. Right? And then reject, then you'd look like you're like this, everything is done, everything is over, and then you reject. Because that's still a key area. We're still below key areas, but it's just not dying, right? This asset, this chart will not die. And so that's kind of what I got for stablecoin dominance on the 3-day. You still have a red dot, but I mean, look at the RSI. The RSI looks bullish. That looks bullish. I'm just being honest. That looks bullish. You're bouncing off the RSI like that. That looks good. That doesn't look as good. So there's just, this chart is being so tricky. We do have like I said, we have a red dot on the weekly. We have a decision to make, right? This thing has a decision to make by next week. By next week, right? Are we breaking out of this lower high? We tried to once, we tried to twice. Are we breaking out? Are we going to actually break out and sustain it, or are we done? Right? It's either, this is it. So after, right? So this is the week we're in. So next week, we did move down like we were calling for, but there's always shenanigans. There's always shenanigans. There's always something that happens, right? We called that we slammed down, and we did. But now, I mean, overall, this looks bullish. This looks bullish, right? Just real quick before I end the video, right? This looks like a bull flag or a bear bull flag because we want to go down. And it kind of looks like you're just oscillating down, and then you're going to go. So I do think lower prices. I think we got to finish up this 1-2 setup, and then we'll see some crazy higher prices, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but I think the ones who persevere and make it through this will be rewarded, and I think it's going to be fast. So don't blink. Have a plan. Stick to it. Have a great weekend. Go watch some football. Go hang out with some friends and family. Do your thing. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Bye-bye.